So back in 2016, I decided that I want to get a degree in business but simultaneously work on my fashion side too. So I opted for IB. I went to IB. Luckily I passed the entrance exam and I started with IB in 2017. I graduated from there in 2021, and in 2019 I also went for a full-time fashion design diploma in fashion at Karachi School of Art, and just to get started with the creative side. And soon after that I worked on Member and Freak, and then in 2021 I started SARA and launched my website and Instagram, all that in 2022, like at the beginning of 2022, and since then I'm working on SARA full time, also doing a few jobs in between. This journey started in 2021 when I first launched NISAR, but actually it goes back to my childhood because I love designing clothes, and along the way I realized that I want to design for others too, and I just don't want to become a fashion designer only but also a fashion entrepreneur. Anyway, I started NISAR, and at the beginning I was only dealing with custom orders because I wanted to understand the market. I wanted to understand different body types, different categories of clothing, so that I know what my strengths and weaknesses are. And firstly, before NISAR I was making Western, casual Western, and when I started NISAR I was making party wear, both Eastern and Western, and then I sort of progressed into like even more formal clothing, and like with lots of embroidery and with lots of embellishments. And now it's at a stage that I am dealing with bridals. So I recently got my first Rukhsati bridal order, and this to me is a big deal because I wasn't expecting that this will happen too soon, but I think that through right approach I've been here, because I try my best to understand. At the beginning I was only working on custom orders, so I didn't need to invest, but later on when I was making my first collection, when I was launching my website, when I was doing influencer marketing or social media ads and all of that, so that's when I had to invest, and I tried to generate that investment from my profit, but I also asked an angel investor, you would say, to help me out, and it was a very minimal investment because I don't feel like I need a huge investment at this moment, because I wanted to establish myself first as a designer, that I wanted to experience all the categories and all of that. So now is the right time when I should be looking for an investment, and just fingers crossed. But till now what I have been doing is since I am dealing with custom orders mostly, so I get an advance payment from my client, and then I get done with the production and everything, and then when I am delivering my dress I get the rest of the payment. So that way my costs are covered, and when I get the return, some of it will go into the labor cost, and the remaining, that the profit. Marketing, I have always relied on word of mouth, influencer marketing, and ad campaigns. So I'll just go through each. In word of mouth, whenever like most of my orders come through word of mouth, because since I am a beginner, word of mouth helps me a lot. it helps build my credibility, because obviously if someone is wearing a dress and their friend or a relative would love it, they would ask, and they can see that piece of clothing in real life too. So that have helped me a lot in getting orders, and I've mostly gotten overseas orders because of that, as most of my clients are also overseas. And then influencer marketing, I remember this blogger, my first influencer that I collaborated with. I sent her a dress and she just charged 5,000 rupees, and she posted great pictures with my dress, and that dress then became the bestseller dress of SARA and NISAR. Its name is SARA, and it just sort of helped me get many of my overseas clients, because many overseas Pakistanis were following her, that influencer, and she didn't have a lot of followers, but still her followers were genuine. So I got it just made my dress a bestseller dress. And for 5,000 rupees of investment, the strengths of my business would be, number one, it would be personalization. I try my best to make my clients feel seen and heard, and I incorporate whatever idea they have in their mind into my design, so that because at the end of the day, they are the ones that are going to wear the dress, right? So I want to make them feel like their wish have been fulfilled. And I also provide custom sizing, so it's like the dress is completely made for my client, right? So this makes them happy, it just fits them perfectly. I've always had good reviews about the fitting, so that's like a second strength of my business. And the third would be that obviously we do business for the money, and we want to earn through it, we want to grow it, because if we are earning it, then it will be sustainable and all that. That's another story. But for me, it's more than money. It's my passion, it's my love. So this is also why I put my heart into it, and it also helps in growing the business. So this is also one of the strengths of my business. And then weaknesses would be that I don't have a big team, I do not have a proper investor, and in order to design more and more, coming up with lots and lots of collections, I do need investment, and I do need a team, and that will come with time. Entrepreneurs are my favorite kind of people, so I can't say that I have only one role model. I look up to too many entrepreneurs, but to me these days, I totally am in love with Shubhika. She is the owner and the head designer of Papa Don't Preach, and I just love the brand. I'm amazed at how they are progressing, because I have seen her journey. I've been following her for a long time, so I've seen how she is doing one thing and then the other and then the other, and it's just with every new thing I'm just like, okay, wow. And I love that she includes her whole team, and I like that she taps into the trends, and I also like her designs definitely, because they stand out. And also she includes that innovation, she includes that social responsibility element to her business. She does everything that I want to do in the future when I will have such resources. So yeah, I definitely look up to her, my client. And through custom orders, I've learned that, because it just sort of connects you with the client, and you get to understand their ideas, their likes and dislikes, and also their body type, right? So that was the whole idea of going towards the custom orders. And I also launched one collection in between too. It was all a party wear as well. And my future plan is to bring in more bridals and also party wear, specifically in Eastern wear for now. Pressure and crisis. Pressure is a lot because everyone these days is starting a clothing brand, and just the market is extremely saturated. Investors do not want to invest in this market, especially if you're a newcomer and you find it really difficult to stand out. There is a lot of competition, and the other difficulties are that if you're doing this alone, mostly like I've had a few people in my team earlier when I was launching my collection, but throughout I have been doing this alone mostly, because obviously I do not have this much resources to bring in more people or to get more investment because the market is saturated. So yeah, these are really difficult things that I face. And apart from that, it's like everything is aligned together, and if you fall short on one thing, let's say you fall short on marketing campaigns, so you would, like, your design would lose its charm, right? It won't reach to the right people. And when you are a new comer in business, it gets really difficult, especially when the market is too competitive. I wouldn't say that I spotted an opportunity. I sort of created one for myself. I basically did what I wanted to do. I wanted to grow myself as a designer. I wanted to learn different elements of a fashion label, marketing, communications, photo shoot, production, designing, every element of it. So I did it all alone, and I also wanted to cater to different target audience. So I sort of just did things that were happening one by one, but I didn't say that I spotted an opportunity. And for me it was a perfect time, because I was done with my diploma, and I don't like doing only one thing at the moment. So with IB I wanted to do SARA NISAR too, so I just sort of started with it. And it was a great timing because I was in IB and I was establishing myself as a designer at IB. Like, I would wear my designed clothes and I would post on my social media, and I have all the IB people on my social media. So I was sort of, penetrating into the IB market, and I wanted everyone to know that okay, I exist and I'm a designer. So I worked on that, and it helped me a lot when I started my business, because I had this huge group of friends and acquaintances who knew me in real life, who has seen my designs in real life, so they would just trust me, they would support me. As I mentioned that my friends and my acquaintances were a great support. Other than that, my family would also support me in this way that they would post on social media about me, or they will tell other people that okay, I'm doing this and they can order from me and anything of that sort. But in terms of financials, in terms of the actual work done, I was always handling it on my own. I have no one in my family or in my friends who have a slight bit idea about how to run a fashion label, because no one is acquainted with fashion at all. I have no one in my life that has a fashion background, so I am sort of all on my own since the beginning, and I'm trying to figure things out my own way, and that has been really challenging, but it's fun too, because it's like I'm just experiencing something new that I haven't seen anyone in my life experiencing. And whenever I find solutions to all of my problems, it sort of gives me a great happiness. I got a lot of profit, I would say. And then ad campaigns have not helped me that much in getting orders, but they have helped SARA in getting followers and website visits or WhatsApp messages, or just just create brand awareness mostly. But orders I've always received through either word of mouth or the profit. I can then utilize it in the next order or in some marketing campaign, or I just keep it to myself, because that was how I was earning too. The best moment would be my recently launched bridal dress, nikah dress of one influencer, Varisha Javed, and that dress was loved by everyone at my convocation, or everyone at my office, everyone in my family, my friends were like talking about it for days. People didn't even know that I made the dress, and they were like, oh, it's amazing. And when they got to know about it, they will be like messaging me, calling me that, Sarah, you made the dress, it's amazing and all that, because I kept it a secret from everyone, from even my close friends. So it was the best moment so far, and it was my first bridal dress. I wanted it to be special, and people also thought that it's some sort of collaboration, because other dresses for that wedding were also collaborations. So they also expected that this one would be a collaboration too, but no, it was an order. So it was an order from the influencer. So I mean, I didn't even invest anything in it. I just poured my heart out, and I just made the design and bring that design into the reality, and it just turned out to be amazing. I get lots of orders for that, and in fact, this is how I tapped into the bridal market, and now I'm getting orders for bridals. So that was the best moment of my business so far. Also, Abdul Samad Zia. I didn't have any prior experience. I would say that I had some experience from Fleek, but that was a completely different brand, and the TG was different, designs were different, everything was different. In fact, it started as a SPM project, and then I just carried it after the project too. I continued it for a long time. But that was completely different, and NISAR is completely different. Although it did give me some sort of idea about how digital framework of this industry is, and how I can bring attention to myself through social media, through influencers, through ads, and few other things too. And I also got acquainted with the photo shoots too. So yeah, it helped a little bit, but the entire idea of NISAR and the business model and designs specifically, everything is different. So I did learn lots of things, like new things with NISAR.